You ever observe a baby, how they scream and cry and shake, and then after they're done, they're just back to normal, back to playing, or maybe they fall asleep? I want to talk about suppressing our emotions, because as adults, we lose that childlike ability to feel how we feel, and we suppress and we suppress and we suppress, and it causes so many complications and internal problems, and people don't know why. They don't know why they feel the way they feel. And I'm here to tell you that it's often because we suppress our emotions and we don't allow ourselves to feel them. And listen, this is the problem when we suppress our emotions. This is how it ends up expressing, is in situations that affect other people. So if you find a healthy way to express your emotions, to deal with them, to face them, then they won't come out unexpectedly and affect the people around you. But if you have no way of dealing with your emotions, dealing with all of the traumas and the feelings that are inside of you, if you just suppress them and you act like everything is okay, then they will arise. They will be expressed when you least expect it. And usually it will affect other people. Sometimes it's the people you love, it's your friends, your family, because, these emotions have been buried and they have to express in some way. And let me kind of give you a visual illustration of that. Imagine a spring, like a heavy spring, and you're just pushing down on the spring and you're squeezing the spring. One day, the pressure has to be let loose, and that spring is going to open, and it's going to shoot somewhere, or it's going to cause some sort of damage. This is likened to the emotions, the traumas that we've dealt with in our childhood, and they become suppressed. And you might be wondering at this point, well, how do I deal with them? Well, as we know, in the modern world, most people deal with these feelings through therapy, through talking to people, through psychiatry, a psychiatrist. But the ancients actually had ways of dealing with these traumas, and what in the East they would call samskaras, or shadows. And you will hear in the sort of New Age community people calling it shadow work. The reason it's called shadow work and it's called like shadows is because the shadow is simply an absence of light. It's not something, it's the absence of light. So the shadow is also darkness. It is the parts of you that are buried in the darkness, and they're hidden because there's no light. But once the light shines, then that which was in the darkness is made visible. I'm looking right in front of me right now. There's a shadow because there's a little pole or like a little statue, sort of concrete monument. Let me show you guys. Okay, see that shadow? There's my shoe. I don't like wearing shoes. That shadow is just an absence of light because this thing here is blocking the light. So this statue thing, this pillar, whatever you want to call it, is likened to your samskaras, or your shadows, or your traumas. It needs to be moved out the way in order for the light to shine. It needs to be dealt with. It needs to be faced. Most people have so much deep down, so much traumas and baggage that they've never dealt with, and unfortunately it comes out in ways that they would rather not express. I mean, I know some of you guys deal with these things, and when a situation, an external situation or a person triggers you, it causes you to become emotional and react in a certain way, you usually will look back at that and be like, man, I wish I didn't react like that. We don't like happily react negatively to things. We don't joyfully hurt people. We do it because that's the only way we know how to react. That's the best we know how to do. So then we have to figure out how to not react in that way, in ways that are going to affect the people around us negatively, and inevitably affect us negatively as well. And some healthy ways to bring those emotions to the surface and deal with them are one, meditation. You guys know if you're new here, subscribe to the channel, but if you've been watching my videos, you know I always talk about meditation, because Meditation allows you to simply sit with your thoughts and sit with your feelings and face them. Not any other practice is really going to allow you to do that. To really sit and feel all of the feelings and emotions that you have within you. I know when it comes to like lust of the flesh or sexual lust, sitting in meditation has helped me so much with that, because the feelings will come up while I'm sitting there with my eyes closed and my body absolutely still. All those feelings will arise. I'll pay attention to the chemical releases in my body and where it goes and what effects it has and how my mind feels. And I just sit and watch and observe without judgment in meditation. And then at the end of my meditation, usually those feelings that were deep down, they play themselves out. They literally dissolve. I don't have to do anything. They simply dissolve because I'm sitting there, I'm allowing them to play out. And this is the problem with today's society. I think a lot of people don't know this, but not all problems actually need solved. We don't have to do something to solve our problems all the time. Sometimes simply sitting with them and being with them and allowing ourselves to feel them is all that's needed. And most of the time, that's the case. That's all that's really needed. But we have to get back to an understanding as a society, as a world, that meditation, simply being, sitting, is what's truly, truly needed. And the benefits are not comparable to any other practice or any other medicine or anything. But you know what the problem is? They can't make any money off of meditation. You can make customers keep coming back and coming back and coming back to get, their medicine, but you can't make someone keep coming back for meditation. Somebody can simply sit wherever they are and set a 10-minute timer and focus on their breath. Now, there are some advanced meditation practices that you might have to learn from somebody, and that person may charge something because they're giving you their time and energy to teach you a practice or a process. But the most simple form of meditation, sitting and focusing on your breath and allowing yourself to feel, that doesn't require any money. Anybody can do that. Even Jesus taught, the kingdom of God is within you. Seek first the kingdom of God. Take no thought. Jesus is teaching meditation. The ancients knew this. They knew the power of meditation, and not even just for the mental and emotional benefits, but they more so practice it for the spiritual benefits, for self-realization purposes, to coming back to your true nature, ultimately realizing your spiritual self, your eternal self. But even when it comes to mental and emotional benefits, they're there, and they're there in abundance. We just have to take the time to actually do it and discipline ourselves to actually sit through all of these feelings. And sometimes we need to talk to people about them. That's another way that we can express them, talk to people about them. Therapy can be very helpful as well. There are yogic practices, yoga, doing certain stretches. It's going to help to release trauma that's stored up in certain areas of your body, because trauma does get stored physically as well. Journaling, sitting with yourself with a pen and a paper, journaling, it gets a lot of the emotions, or you could say it takes a lot of weight off your shoulders. If you've never done it, try it. Journal how you feel. Transformational. I use these practices, all of them, especially meditation. Journaling has played a big part in certain chapters of my life. Still does. When I'm really in turmoil in the mind, I journal. I put it all on paper, take it out of my head. That's what we've got to do. It's buried. It's called the subconscious mind. This is where all of our memories and experiences are stored, in the subconscious mind. You have the conscious mind, the mind that you use to problem solve and throughout the day. You have the subconscious mind, which is the mind that stores everything that you've ever experienced in your life. And then you have the unconscious mind, which is the reactive mind, which just simply acts based on habit and memory. So that all the information that's stored in the subconscious mind, it gets stored in the unconscious, and that's how you express yourself, usually reactively and compulsively and automatically. They also call this unconscious behavior, reactive behavior. And this is what happens when you don't deal with the things that have been buried and suppressed. It comes out reactively, compulsively, and affects the people around you. So yeah, let's look for ways. Let's practice dealing with the stuff that we buried, because we can't tap into our true potential, our spiritual potential, our physical potential, our financial potential, any potential really, unless we face the stuff that's been buried, that's hidden in the shadows. We shine the light on it. And that's what Jesus called us to do, be lights in the world, to shine the light on the darkness and reveal it. As I say that, the sun comes out from behind the clouds. I think that's a good spot to end this video. If you gain value, leave a like, and let me know how this resonated with you in the comments. If you're new to the channel, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Much peace and love.